welcome to Deadly Games. We're actually here doing an interview on behalf of Geek Legion of Doom, and we're here with Robert MacNaughton. I want to get your
MacNaughton.
MacNaughton, I got it right.
MacNaughton.
From the amazing movie E.T. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
Yeah. Firstly, thank you very much for taking time to talk to us today.
Of course. I'm happy to.
I'm overexcited because E.T. is actually one of my all-time favourite movies. So
Good.
it's like a little bit of a dream come true talking to you.
Nice.
I think Claire, who's behind the camera, will know how many times I've made her watch the movie E.T.
Only a few.
Only a few. Actually, I watch E.T. every year, so it's one of my favourite movies. I've actually got about 4 different box sets of this movie. And yeah, as you can tell from how fast I'm talking, I love this film so much.
Do you have the Steelbook?
I've got the
Steelbook, that's
and then
my
I've
favourite
got
one.
the big, massive box set's got like 5 different editions in it.
Yeah.
And when I was in the other hall, I don't know if you've been in there.
I went in there just now.
They've got the big, like,
The
one
spaceship.
and
That's the one I tried to get Universal to send me.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't send it to me because it was UK only.
I had to like
The
do this
spaceship
to
one.
walk by it because I wanted it. And I was like, I don't need that many editions of the movie. So I was
No.
like, I want it, but I don't need it. So I had to walk past it, not looking. But so I wanted to ask you some of your favourite memories from the movie.
My favorite memories were mostly hanging around with the guy Henry Thomas that played Elliot, and there's a guy named Matthew Demerit, who's he was primarily the guy in the ET costume, and he was in school with us. He was a stunt ET.
He was the Love of Sci-Fi.
Unfortunately, he can't make it to the Love of Sci-Fi. No, his mother's sick and he can't make it.
Well, that's understandable.
He's really upset because we had plans in Manchester, and it was going to be the whole gang, you know, with
Well, that's
Dee,
understandable.
and Henry and Dee couldn't be here, but they're definitely going to be in Manchester. I actually had bought concert tickets for me and Matt, and there's nothing he can do. His mom's sick, so.
What's the concert? I'm curious now. What's the concert?
Oh, I'm going to several, but I'm going to go see Groove Armada at the Warehouse Project
Just curious now.
on Sunday,
So-
and then on Friday I'm going to Deaf Institute to see the Heads.
Oh, wow.
They're a English band,
Yeah.
kind of psychedelic English band.
I was just being nosy.
Yeah.
Over there, so.
Yeah, well, you can't go to Manchester and not go see a concert, I think.
And I know that when you were filming E.T., Poltergeist, another one of my favourite movies, was also being filmed at the same time.
It was just slightly before E.T.
Did you ever nip over to see what was going on with the film?
No, but we did post production with them.
Okay.
So when they were adding the special effects and some of the sound work and stuff that we had to do after E.T. was filmed, we had school with the kids from Poltergeist, and we were working, you know, in school together, and then they would do their work and then come back.
Much scarier movie.
So I got to know Dominique Dunn pretty well, the girl who played the oldest girl in it.
Yeah.
And Heather O'Rourke was Drew's age, but they couldn't have been more opposite.
Yeah.
Because Drew was all like kind of full of personality, and Heather was the most beautiful. She looked like a China doll. She was gorgeous, serene, beautiful little girl, but the opposite of Drew.
I suppose the movie's a complete opposite as well, isn't it? Like E.T.'s all like family.
It is.
Well, they're both family orientated, but this,
And then when you consider they were directed by the same person,
kind
back
of.
to back.
Rumored.
At this point, everybody knows. When the assistant cameraman came out and said it was directed by Spielberg, he wasn't allowed to have 2 different movies coming out at the same time from 2 different movie companies. So I think at this point everybody knows that he directed Poltergeist, and Tobe Hooper was kind enough to take a back seat and put his name on it.
It doesn't feel like a Tobe Hooper movie, does it? So.
Several scenes are. I can tell several scenes are directed by Tobe Hooper, but I can certainly tell the scenes that were directed by Steven.
I think everybody can when you watch the
Yeah,
movie. But
you watch the
I love
movie.
Poltergeist and I love E.T. So both the movies you can kind of feel are very, very similar.
He had a lot of fun with Poltergeist, and E.T. I felt was more personal to his own heart, and like, you know, he poured his heart into E.T.
And
Poltergeist was him having fun. He always wanted to do a horror movie, and you know.
And you can feel that. I think it's like even in movies you watch like Jaws and Jurassic Park, you can feel like his horror elements coming out when you
Oh,
watch
yeah.
them. Yeah.
He used to live in Phoenix, and my family was from Phoenix. My grandparents lived in Phoenix, and he grew up in Phoenix, partially. But he was telling me about going to the old movie theater on Central Avenue in Phoenix, and he used to go up and watch horror films, Creature from the Black Lagoon and films like that. And he would sit up in the balcony, and he had a paper bag filled with fake puke, like all kinds of disgusting stuff, and they would pour it on the heads. He'd pretend to be throwing up and pour it on the heads of the people below. So he always had that sort of horror frame of mind. And so that was the scene where he's pulling the face off in the mirror. The guy's pulling the face off. That's Steven's hands.
Wow.
Pulling the face off.
Good sense of
So,
humor.
yeah, that's the kind of stuff you like to do.
I'm very curious. You know how E.T. was remastered and they put a lot of CGI in it? How did you feel about that?
I didn't like the CGI.
Glad someone
added.
else feels the same.
And Steven acknowledged, the fans preferred the original version, and he acknowledged that, and rightfully so, went back to the original version on when he did the Blu-ray. That being said, I was always with him on the fact that guns didn't belong in this film. And it was just such a kind of a 70s cop thing to have people with guns. But guys with guns chasing children, and then the guy has a shotgun. Was he going to shoot us out of the sky, with the shotgun? It felt wrong, It was crazy. So that I was for. Everybody had a problem with the walkie-talkies. I had no problem with the walkie-talkies.
I think it made sense.
Yeah, and to me it wasn't even noticeable. So then when he took it out, it was like I didn't notice a difference in those scenes, but I noticed a big difference in the scenes with the ET that looked kind of fake versus the organic, real ET that we had when we were working with them. And that's that was missing from the new version.
I didn't like the CGI. I think it felt better and more organic when it was puppeteers. And it made more sense when it was like that.
Yeah, and then when he's running through the forest, it looked kind of dodgy. Yeah, like he's kind of bouncing around. He's hopping through the forest.
Something magical about it when you knew that they had to really think about making E.T. real. I love the movie.
And what you saw was exactly what we saw. When you see E.T., I mean, we were reacting to things he did, and it was exactly what you see in the film. So
beautiful and magical, and I think it was more real when you knew you guys were reacting to that.
So I don't know, and they changed some dialogue that was unnecessary, that kind of PC at the time. It was right after 9/11. The re-release was like May of 2002, and 9/11 was still fresh in everybody's mind, and it was. So they removed a line where she says, "Are you going?" I said, "I'm going out as a terrorist," and they changed it to hippie, which made no sense because I wasn't dressed like a hippie, Just little things here and there. So Steven recognized that, and he went back to the version everybody grew up with, which I think is beautiful, because just because you can change a film doesn't mean you should. It's like, what are we going to make Wizard of Oz, and like instead of the matte painting when they're going down the yellow brick road, are they going to like change it all to like flying monkeys and everything that they can add in? It's like
you shouldn't touch it.
No, you're messing with people's memories that's ingrained in them from childhood.
Like making black and white movies suddenly colours.
Oh yeah, that was a big one.
No.
The Ted Turner colorizing all the films.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah, colorizing It's a Wonderful Life, and colorizing. I don't think they ever did Citizen Kane, but I think he realized Citizen Kane would have been a battle. But I think they did Treasure for the Sierra Madre.
You shouldn't touch these movies.
No, they were filmed in black and white. The actors wore different colors than they would if it was a color film, deliberately to enhance the black and white. So how do you colorize that? Because you're not even making it realistic to what's on screen.
It makes more sense.
Hitchcock would wear, Hitchcock would have the actors wearing different colors for effect, for effect in black and white. And if you change that to color, it messes with the whole palette of the film. I mean, literally the palette, the look of what he was intending. I hope they never did Rebecca in color. I never heard if they did or not.
I don't think they ever did.
I hope they never did Rebecca.
Color, which I didn't think made sense. Touching Cycle.
Cycle in color.
No. And I know they did A Wonderful Life in color, which was just don't touch that movie. It didn't make
That
any
killed
sense.
me.
No.
It's a Wonderful Life. That killed me.
I watched it once and then never again. I don't even know why I did that. It tortured my as if it didn't make any sense. But same as I watched this one movie, this like E.T.
Yeah, like let's
the
make ET in
CGI.
black and white.
No, I watched the CGI version and then never again. Didn't do it. But
They should make it black and white,
no.
just for effect.
No, let's
Noir,
not do that.
make it a noir movie.
But it's been a pleasure.
Thank
talking
you.
about
It's
E.T.
been a pleasure for me
Thank
too.
you, and thank you
you.
for taking the time to talk to us.
Thanks.
I'm looking forward to seeing you in Manchester again.
Yep.
With the whole gang.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Thank you.
It's always more fun with Dee and Henry.
And I'll get even more excited.
Catch
for
the
everybody else
catch the
there.
Q&A there, 'cause
I
that's
will do.
always
I've
that's
seen
always a
the Q&A
blast.
here as well, so it'll be good to see all of you.
The one with all of us is better.
Yeah, but good. Good to see you again.
So you too.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.